Well, yeah, Nikki Bella versus Natalya. Won't even really talk too much about this match because, you already mentioned it in your heat of the night, like how the women get treated.
See, that's the thing, though. Like, my heat of the night was this match and the way that the Divas are used, and it took such little time for us to describe it in my heat of the night comment, where we really don't even need to talk about it anymore because everyone already knows what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
And
I
really,
said, I think that the most poignant thing I can say about this is that the entrances took longer than the match itself.
yeah, absolutely, and that's crazy to think about. And then you really want to talk about a matchup where we really can't add anything to the discussion. Eric Rowan versus Luke Harper, which was a mutually shared heat of the night between us.
Yeah.
Not really much to this match either. The Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury were special guest referees for this contest, so two special guest referees. I believe Rowan hit a splash at one point, tried to go for the pin, and Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury couldn't decide amongst themselves who was to make the count. And Rowan, being distracted, got hit with a lariat by Harper, and Jamie Noble makes the quickest 3 count ever. After the match,
Not anywhere near as close as Shane McMahon's old 3 counts used to be.
Yeah, that's true. He was like lightning quick. But Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury try putting the boots to Rowan after the match. But Rowan starts to mount a comeback until Harper comes back in with a second lariat. All the while, I'm just face palming my ass off, wondering why I'm being given this on free TV with virtually no stakes whatsoever, than just to say, "Hey, we had this match." So, yeah.
Which is almost worse than anything.
Exactly. We get another Cena Appreciation Night video. I don't even know what moment this is recapping. Maybe him beating JBL for the title. I'm not sure.
This was the draft to Raw.
Okay, the draft to Raw.
When he got drafted to Raw and he was on the highlight reel and Cole was like, "This is the greatest draft choice in the history of Raw."
Yeah. After that, we get a video from earlier today. Alicia Fox confronts Naomi, and she said, even though we're on opposite sides of the tag match tonight, there's no beef between us. And Alicia brings up how she's on Total Divas now, and Naomi says, yeah, so. And she's like, oh, I forgot you're not on there anymore. And Naomi says, hey, it's cool. It allows me to focus on my career, my life. And Alicia said, well, I really didn't mean to do that, but I meant to do this. And she starts to attack Naomi, just throws powder everywhere until the rest of the Divas, like Summer Rae, Emma, and somebody else whose name isn't coming to me, come to check on Naomi. And Alicia Fox
Cameron?
It was Cameron. No wonder it wasn't coming to me. She's so forgettable.
Yeah. And why exactly is Cameron concerned about Naomi's health? I thought she hated her.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she just wanted to kind of get a front row seat and laugh at her former partner. I don't know.
You're really stretching there, considering she was bent down checking on her.
Well, I don't know. She pinned her back, and maybe it's then that she realized she just wasn't that good without Naomi, so she's trying to make amends. So,
that totally happened.
Yeah, it did. It got my botch of the year. We get a nice video package, hyping up the ambulance match, recapping everything that Ambrose and Bray Wyatt have done to each other since Hell in a Cell. We then get our ambulance match, and I gotta say, Ashton, I enjoyed this matchup. I think I actually enjoyed this more than their Miracle on 34th Street fight that they had a few weeks ago. I thought the use of the ambulance was nice because they had some nice teases early on. Bray trying to get Ambrose in there, but then, kicking the door in Bray's face and this and that. I feel like the ambulance was used nicely as a weapon, too. There was one point where Bray slammed the door against Ambrose's leg, and he was kind of targeting that leg throughout the remainder of the matchup. That's something I really liked. We got a phenomenal spot where Dean set Bray up on this Red Cross looking table, and then he goes on top of the ambulance and he nails an elbow that I said on Pleat Off Cactus Jack would have been proud of. So it was a great back and forth, and really the ending kind of reminded me of the Bray Wyatt Daniel Bryan matchup from Rumble 2014, oddly enough, because he hits a Sister Abigail on the doors of the ambulance. And then when that isn't enough to put Dean away because he's starting to fight back a little bit, Bray nails another one, but on the concrete. So it takes two Sister Abigails to beat Dean Ambrose, but ultimately Bray Wyatt does get the win. And I gotta say, even though I'm so glad this program is over, and really I am a little worried about Ambrose and what this does to his stock, I am really digging how just ruthless and vicious Bray Wyatt has been lately towards Ambrose in this program, and I hope that carries over into future feuds. So,
Bray Wyatt looks very strong coming out of this, but I am going to go ahead and say I called it.
Yeah.
Because Dean Ambrose has officially lost all of his momentum.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe that's why they sent him away in the ambulance. I don't even know when we'll see Dean Ambrose again, because normally with matches like this, I don't know if we'll see him a week after, or if they're going to keep him off TV for a little bit, maybe as like a quote-unquote surprise, even though it really wouldn't be.
I mean, heck, at this point, they might as well just keep him off TV until Rumble.
Yeah.
Rumble's in 13 days, so they might as well just not have him on Raw next week, and then he shows up at Rumble.
Yeah, I would do that. I think that's exactly the game plan I would use, because I think he would get a nice pop after, a mini absence like that. So yeah, Bray does.
And you know what I said as soon as Bray Wyatt won this match?
What's that?
You remember.
No, I really don't. You're going to have to recollect me.
Well, Dean Ambrose isn't winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's right. There goes that. And I do completely agree with you there. As far as Bray Wyatt, though, I mean, I have heard floating around for a while. I know you have too. Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker. Personally, I don't think that match is going to happen, but I do think Bray is going to have a pretty significant Mania match this year. I won't say what, because I honestly don't know what, but, I mean, you think Taker's going to happen. See, I'm not sure.
It's
really
all but
not
confirmed, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It really isn't confirmed. I know it's been very heavily speculated, but I don't know. I'm not willing to put my eggs in that basket just yet. I mean, it would make sense from a lot of angles, but just Undertaker health-wise and his age and everything else, I don't know if he'd be up for it, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Wyatt laughs. He gets the victory. I will say this. It sucks that it had to come at the expense of Ambrose, but Bray Wyatt really is looking a lot stronger than he did, before he made the departure and they did all the repackaging with the vignettes and everything, because they were on such a losing streak. It's nice to see him winning big matches like this. So we go from that. Again, we get hyped up. Cena Appreciation Night, sponsored by The Authority. And then we get Naomi and the Usos versus Alicia Fox, Damien Mizdow, and The Miz. Again, this match only served to prove just how ridiculously over Damien Mizdow is. Crowd loved him.
And how ridiculously stupid the WWE thinks their audience is.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Can I just say, I literally want to quote Michael Cole explaining the finish to this match, which for those of you that didn't see it, Jimmy was distracted by Naomi on the apron, and then he got rolled up by The Miz, who got the tights. And Michael Cole's explanation was, I think Jimmy thought that Naomi was Alicia Fox, and he went to hit her, but then he realized it wasn't, and he got caught up, and he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that in a match where no male-on-female violence is even allowed, Jimmy Uso was attempting to attack who he thought was Alicia Fox, despite the fact that it was his wife who looks very little like Alicia Fox. This is not only ignorant, this is borderline racist, saying that the only two black women in the company look exactly alike, to the point that one of their husbands thinks that they can get them confused.
When you put it that way, it's almost comical, dude. It really is. And I'm so glad you said that, because that was the point I was going to bring up. Not only does that kind of lead into the dark psyche of Jimmy Uso that he was fully prepared to, to kick a woman in the face in a match that's not even, permitted. But yeah, Michael Cole making the insinuation, well, all black people look alike, right? No, Michael Cole, not at all. That's no excuse. And Jimmy Uso should be
even if you want to say that they have similar complexions, which they don't, Alicia Fox has red hair. Naomi has black hair.
You know what? I'm just going to come out and say it. And again, screw you Usos for doing this to me. Because I hate when I dislike alleged babyfaces so much that they make me support heels, especially when they're heels that I'm not crazy about. If Naomi would turn on Jimmy Uso and curry favor with The Miz and kind of align herself with him, I would applaud it. I would probably get out of the chair and applaud it. So, screw you Usos, especially you, Jimmy. Shame on you.
And screw you, Michael Cole, for insulting our intelligence.
Exactly. Screw you for that too. What he said. we go from that to now it's Ryback versus Seth Rollins, or at least it was going to be Ryback versus Seth Rollins until Kane comes out and says, man,
Alzheimer's Kane.
All-timers Kane, that memory loss, man, it's really gotten me tonight. It's a handicap match, and Seth Rollins' partner, well, it's me. So, yeah, we got Ryback.
I never would have guessed that, considering he came out in slacks and no shirt.
I know, right?
I mean, it was either he was wrestling or he got drunk in the back and didn't know what to do with himself.
Yeah, the mystery would have left even Sherlock Holmes perplexed. It was
at that point, he looked exactly like the guy who gets way too drunk at a company party and realizes way too late that he's going to get fired on Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, man. Not really, much to say about this match either. I mean, Ryback actually does get control early on, and the fans seem to be behind him. He gets a Luthez press and a splash on Kane for 2, but then Kane gets a boot and a clothesline, so it's pretty much that back and forth. This match actually does end up getting a commercial. When we come back, Ryback again seems to kind of be turning the tide with Kane, gets a belly-to-belly suplex, knocks Rollins off the apron, but then this is where the match kind of gets crazy because, Ryback's just taking everybody out left and right. But when Ryback and Rollins kind of mix it up, he gets a spine buster on Rollins and he knocks Kane off the apron. Even though J&J Security try and distract Ryback, he still gets the meat hook clothesline on Rollins. And he's about to go for a shell shot, but Kane comes in, but then he gets countered and a shell shot gets hit on him. Then Rollins comes in and he hits the curb stomp.
But he didn't follow up on it right away either. That was so cool. And then Rollins realized, oh crap, I've taken way too long. He's not going to be down for a 3 count. And he goes for a second and connects with a second blackout, which then he pins Ryback to win.
So Ryback looks like a complete monster here. And
Seth Rollins, dude, think about this. Has anybody ever kicked out of the blackout?
I don't think so, no.
And Rollins respected Ryback so much that he felt the need to go for a second one because he didn't think that one would be enough to put him away.
And there you go. There you go. And I love just, again, that shrewdness, that ingenuity that we saw from Rollins a lot in the Shield. Realizes that Kane was the perfect fodder to get the 2 curb stomps in, and he succeeds. Rollins is really coming into his own, and I think he has for a while now, is that cerebral heel, which I love. That's why I'm a fan of, Evolution Triple H, and Edge is the ultimate opportunist. And Rollins seems to kind of be fitting that mold with the opportunities he takes. So that was really good stuff. And Kane and Seth Rollins do get the win. And you see Rollins, Kane, Mercury, and Noble all standing tall over Ryback, celebrating. This has been quite the dominant night for the Authority. Ashton, do you have anything else you want to say about that, or can I go right into our next match?
Go into it.